Welcome back, bookkeepers. We've had enough videos to where I don't have to give you guys any more fancy introductions. You guys know why you are here. Woo! The Perfect Liar. Yes. Oh, all right, wait, pause. So yes, I'm doing this book review in my car. Life has just been moving so fast with me lately, and I find time to read books. I'm always gonna find time to read, okay? But lately, I just haven't had time to really sit and do this review. And again, this year, our goal is we're not aiming for perfection, we're aiming for progression, okay? And progressing means getting this book review out by any means necessary. And with my fast-paced life, I found a little time now. So yes, I'm here in my car, but you know, we all pull up from home and sit in the car for a while and just kind of do what we got to do. So I know y'all understand, and there's no judgments here, right? Thank you. So back to the book review, The Perfect Liar by Thomas Christopher Greene. Okay, I got my other phone here, and let's go ahead and get this thing out. So the book is about a lady named Susanna, and she's married to Max W, and she has a son named Freddie. So Susanna deals with anxiety, and as a way of, you know, just kind of coping and keeping herself in shape and learning how to cope with anxiety, she loves running. So as usual, one morning she gets up, she goes to hit the pavement to go for a run, and she finds a note on her door, and the note basically says, "I know what you did." So her having anxiety, this note is stuck in her mind, and she's like, what happened? What do they know? Like, she's just going crazy. Like, who are they talking about? What's going on? So she calls her husband, she lets him know about the note, and he tells her don't pay any attention to it, but she's been married to him for a while. She knows him, and she's like, no, something's going on. The way he responded just wasn't, you know, I want to take his word for it, but her anxiety wouldn't let loose. So she tries to leave it alone. And then a little while later, there's another note on the door that basically says the same thing. So this time the husband sees the note, and she sees the note, and she's not sure if he actually saw it, but she's like, I believe he's got this note. He goes to work and he tries to keep it from her. So then eventually she asks him like, yo, I think I saw you read the note, like another note on our door. Did you read it? And so he ends up telling her, yeah, but I think I know who's behind it or whatever, because he has some secrets that he been keeping from her in the world as well. So he's trying to fish out who he think is the person that's leaving these notes, because he don't want no one to blow up his spot. Like, he came from nothing, and now he's basically living a life he's always wanted to. He's a high paid college like art lecturer. Like, he's never went to school, although he pretends that he has. He never went to school, and he getting paid like $50,000 just to host lectures about art for something that he never knew. So of course he don't want to let that go. He's even living in a house that the college pays for in the super uppity community that all the college professors get to live in or whatever. So he don't need his past to come out. So he's trying to find out who did it. So he believed that this guy did the note, and so he invites the guy and his wife over so that they could talk and he could try to fill him out. And so while he's there, he is for certain that this man has left this note here. And so Max ends up killing the guy because he needs his identity of who he used to be to remain intact. And so once that murder is committed, it sets off a chain of events, and you get so many different plot twists and turns, and it keeps show as glued from there. Okay, so that is the just climax in the plot of the book. So now, what did I like? So this book, The Perfect Liar, I was excited to read this book. I love the title. I just came off of reading my self-help stuff, and I was ready for something good and juicy, and it did not disappoint. Okay, so my overall thoughts: the story was very entertaining and super suspenseful. It started out at a very slow but even pace, giving lots of background information that helps to build the character's world. It's a slow build up, but each chapter gives you just a little bit more to make you want to continue reading up until you reach the climax, which from then you're locked in and you don't want to go to bed. You don't want to put the book down because you're trying to find out what is really going on. It's written in dual point of view. Some people don't like dual point of view. I love it because I feel like you get a wider scope of what the story is or whatever. And the good thing about this book and the formatting of it is the point of views are per chapter, so you don't have too much of head hopping or confusing whose thoughts you're in because it's broken down per chapter. So what did I like? The dual point of view is different, and I liked being able, again, as I said, to be able to get inside both characters' head. It just gives you like a wider, broader picture of what's going on in the story. I love that the characters was very likable. I love reading from nothing to something tropes, like people that grew up with nothing, came from nothing, but finally they got something. I love those type of tropes, and this is definitely one of them, and I like that about the book. Spicy. The book is very different, and its sex scenes are different from just your average. The author did not shy away to try to just be politically correct in a lot of things, or trying to keep it soft and tasteful. Like, it got very spicy when those scenes came about it, and I loved it. I like the detail of it. I also like that this book had a lot of role play in it when it came to those intimate scenes, and the role play was initiated by the man. And I like that because in real life, or not even in real life, I'm gonna say it's so many books in real life. A lot of times the pressure is put on the women to kind of be the one to keep things new in the bedroom. So I really enjoyed in this book that it did not have a hard time making the man be the one to keep things spicy and open to playing these different roles in the bedroom. So that was really, really cute for me and very different. I love that the characters I put they were gravely flawed. Like, every character in this book has issues that at one point you kind of like, you're a shitty human being. But with that is so much self-reflection inside of that, because I think we all do stuff that may be selfish. A lot of people don't understand it's just only for our own well-being or our own satisfaction. And so I love that part about the book, because you could see a relation between just us as humans and then the characters in the book. So I love that. The plot had a very unexpected twist that had me with my mouth open because I was not expecting it. And the last thing I have here is that this book did a wonderful and very real depiction of someone living with anxiety. Mr. Thomas Christopher Greene, he either is super close with someone that lives with a real anxiety condition, or he himself struggles, which is probably him, because a lot of writers and stuff, we be having shit going on in our mind. So, but nevertheless, as someone who is a survivor of anxiety, I don't say I survive it. I kick his ass. Sometimes it want to come and get me, but all the time, I'm always gonna come back on top, right? And the way they describe this person in the midst of the anxiety, and then just the things that a person that really struggles with anxiety do, the book did a real good job. You could tell it wasn't just someone that Googled symptoms of anxiety. It was someone that actually has experienced it, and he did a wonderful job at that. So I really liked that. What didn't I like? For the first time ever, I literally have one sentence here for what I did not like. And that one sentence is, it was just a little slow pace for me in the first half, but when it picked up, it was on and popping from there. So with that said, that is the only thing that I didn't like about this book. This is my first book by the author. I read it in 2 weeks. I took my time reading it. The chapters aren't super long. I just took my time reading. It was my downtime, my relaxing time. I didn't rush through it. Another thing I did notice that for myself, this is the first male author reads in this type of genre, which is, fiction, suspense. This is the first male author that I have read in over about 10 years. The last male author that I read was Actually, Jaquavis Coleman, and that was so long ago, and I didn't even notice that until I looked. I was like, I typically tend to only read books by females, and so Mr. Thomas, you didn't disappoint for me. So maybe I might give the men some more tries, you guys. Like, read it up, done it up. So yeah, so I really like this book. Our next read is going to come from the book box that I got. So this was one that was already done, and the other book was called The Nowhere Child. I don't have that book with me, so I don't know who the author is, but we're gonna figure it out, and that's going to be our next book review. And I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check out these authors' books, leave me a some suggestions, some feedback, or you just drop in and say hi. Okay, that's all we need. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next video.